Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, apples, peaches, bananas, and pears, any kind of pear you want to roll off the tip of your tongue. Welcome to the FreeRay Media podcast. I am your host, Raymond Correa, and we are here at the Conti building, where it is full of small, independent businesses, where people are thriving, surviving, a bit of both, but most importantly, fulfilling their passions, because that's what they love doing. So don't forget, always support your small, independent businesses. This one included. All right, before we get started here, I would like to let anybody know who is watching, listening, or both, whatever you're doing, to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, please follow me on Instagram at FreeRay Media Productions, where my link tree is provided and all my social media platforms are there. And if you are interested in any of our services here at FreeRay, whether it's videography, audio recordings, photography, or podcasting, just let us know. Contact us in any type of way, and we'll take it from there. All right, so enough dilly-dally. Let's get right to the episode. We have a very special guest here on the FreeRay Media podcast, and let's get right to it. Guest, would you please introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Hello. My name is Luxx Karma. I'm a vocalist in the Shoreline, Connecticut area. I also have my own band, Widow's Vein, that's going to be coming up very soon. And lastly, I have a couple acoustic gigs that I do, a couple acoustic projects, just throughout the state of Connecticut. We do a variety of music.
All right, so music is pretty much your world throughout your life?
Music, writing, visuals. You know, when I have the time to do my makeup and, fashion and, I care very much about presentation. Presentation is everything.
All right. So now when it comes to like the bands that you're in, or at least your love of music,
Yes.
When did your love of music first start?
When I was a kid. All of my parents were musically inclined. I grew up in a musically inclined household. My mom was more of a music enthusiast, but she still sang very well. My dad, he played guitar, he played piano, and he was all self-taught. And then I had a third parent, who also played guitar, and he sang, and he actually is the one who introduced me to Neil Young when I was a kid. And that opened up a whole door of soulful music for me. The first song I ever heard was Helpless. Song. I love Neil Young.
So any other bands or artists that influenced you around that time that you still listen to?
Aerosmith. Steven Tyler was a very, very big influence on me because I loved that raspy, gritty, soulful sound that he had created. I found out recently, not very healthy technique. But Steven Tyler, I loved his sound. And then later on in my life, I discovered Led Zeppelin, and that is who changed everything about the way that I perform, my vocal techniques, just everything that I do as a performer, as a vocalist. It's Robert Plant meets Maria Brink, meets Randy Blythe, meets like show tunes. That's how I'd describe my inspirations.
So the raspy, crunchy, raunchy type of voice is what really drove you to take that kind of vocal style and incorporate it into your own style.
Yes. Yep.
But
I couldn't do it for a long time.
Yeah.
Unless you have that proper technique. It took a really long time to really find the right placement for it, and to do it in a healthy manner. Takes time.
So I think for any vocalist that's listening, or at least anybody that would like to be a vocalist for any kind of band, doesn't matter what kind of style it is. What can you say about techniques? Like, what's your presentation about technique. Like, how do you come up with any kind of vocal style?
How do you come up with any kind of vocal style? So I mean, it all starts in your diaphragmatic support. Like that's the most important thing. And when you are singing, just to focus on down low so that you don't focus up here because everybody's so focused on like their throat and singing. And this is where my voice box is, but that's not where you support from. You support from way down here. Cyndi Lauper, she says to sing from your butt.
You know what? Sure. How do you sing from your butt?
Like clenching it real hard.
Oh, so
It's like it's really to
that
keep.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps your brain away from your throat if you start thinking about your butt. That's the whole meaning.
I will say, since you brought up rubber plant, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Squeeze my lemon until the juice runs down my leg.
Oh God,
That kind of makes sense now.
sour.
well. I mean, yeah, it's an innuendo from the start, but it's just like from that technique, it kind of makes sense now since you brought those two up, and I'm like, huh.
Oh yeah, and I just saw Get the Lead Out over at the Oakdale a couple weeks ago. Phenomenal, so good. I want to do a Led Zeppelin tribute, but heavier.
So we'll take the early heavy metal, hard rock, any genre that they did throughout the 70s.
Folk.
Oh yeah,
They have a country song.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Which
Wait, which one is that again?
It's called Hot Dog because my friend he knew that I was a huge Led Zeppelin fan, and he goes, "Hey Rach, I'm gonna sing you a song at karaoke for your birthday," and I'm like, "Oh God!" And he's like, "I'm not gonna tell you what it is." I start hearing this like banjo, like, you know, square dancing type of music. And I'm looking at him like he's wearing like he has 5 heads. And he's looking at me and he's laughing at me. And he starts singing it. And he goes, "I dedicate this to Rach." I'm like, yeah. And so I was slightly mortified. But it's okay though. You know, to love a band is to love all their music. You know, even the ones that don't quite hit. But so, I wonder why it's called Hot Dog.
You can always look it up. You know, pretty much. Yeah, just pretty much look up the info and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I assume you listen to for Led Zeppelin at least. You listen to or at least you know their entire catalog?
Give or take. I'm familiar with a lot of their songs. I've listened to almost their entire discography. I saw Led Zeppelin. They did the Physical Graffiti album in its entirety. I think it was its 35th anniversary. And me and my friend were there, and we only know like maybe 3 songs on that whole album. You know, you got Kashmir, which is the number 1 on that. Trample Underfoot. And can't remember what it was. But, you know, that is like one of their least known albums is Physical Graffiti. I mean, the only thing that made it was Kashmir. This was a tribute band.
Okay.
This was, yeah.
Oh, not the real Led Zeppelin.
No, they don't perform out anymore. That's why the Led Zeppelin tribute bands are so big right now. Is because there are 2 that currently go throughout New England. Get the Lead Out, and then Les Zeppelin.
So, any other genres of music that you personally like?
Oh, I've been learning jazz recently. It's fun. It's fun. Different vocal style than what I'm used to, but it helps me to control my voice. That's something that I've always struggled with. My voice has been controlling me for a long time, and now it's time for me to control my voice. And jazz is the perfect example of control because I'm not sure how much music theory you know, but in jazz, there's a lot of like pickup measures and a lot of improvisation. There's, you know, just a lot of different like runs and scales and you gotta control. You gotta keep the control. I can do 6 different vocal styles.
All right, so with that many, so you're able to scream your butt off, but also the jazz genre, at least, you're able to sing, you know, smoothly, preciously, and all that stuff. How are you able to do both? How are you able to do that, or at least do those 6 kind of styles that you mentioned?
Well, all depends on your placement and what your intent is. So Like if I was going to sing blues, for example, thinking about what emotion that specific genre portrays, so blues, you want to have a soulful, a yearning, an ache with a little bit of grit on there and, some runs here and there, um, and then as you had mentioned, the jazz with the smoothness and an even airflow and, hitting those like little notes here and there. Um, and then you got like a hard rock type of style. You could say Steven Tyler on some of his raspy things or like sustaining like a distorted like type of sound. And an operatic type of voice as well. I'm currently working with an instructor to help me like get better with my head voice because that's something that I've struggled with because I've always been scared of my higher range. Um and screaming, well, you got to make sure your vocal cords are either as far apart as possible or as close together as possible and hold it. Do not let them hit each other because you will get vocal damage. Ask my past self a month before my American Idol audition.
You know what? That's another good question to ask. So you just said you auditioned for American Idol?
It was horrible. Don't look it up.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, all right. So so when did you audition and how'd it go?
Yeah. I originally auditioned virtually of 2021 with my guitar player, Matt Landusky. I went through 5 virtual judges. The song that I had sang was Misery Business. And I got yes, 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 yes. And, my buddy was doing great. And then we went out to eat afterwards. It was a great time. We were all happy. And then I had gotten the email, okay, you're going to go to Vegas September of 2022. And I'm like, woohoo. Oh, yeah. Well, about mid to late August, I played a gig and I screamed and I blew my voice out before the most important audition of my life.
And then that was it. Like you couldn't go to Vegas.
I did go to Vegas.
Oh, you still?
No, I did go to Vegas. Because I was like, all right, because like about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before I actually had to go, I'm like, come on, because I literally lost my voice. Like I couldn't even talk. And, I'm doing these little like exercises to try and get my voice jump started, and trying to find, where am I and how do I feel? Where's my support? But unfortunately, it did not work out. It was aired. Call it my national embarrassment. National embarrassment.
Yeah, we'll say it in precise. I'll play it again. Alright, so at least after the initial audition, you made it to. I mean, how many other rounds until you were?
I got all no's across the board.
So just that one round, and then back you went.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, but it was okay though because look, Lionel Richie, awesome. All right, he actually had some like basic human respect. All right. Katy Perry, she didn't know what she was talking about. Okay. I do appreciate that she commended me for, about what'd she say? Maybe you should try your genre, basically, for a lack of better words. I mean, that was a season of country, Blake Shelton. The things that I would like to do to him, because he was so rude. That's all I'm going to say about that.
That's behind the scenes of American Idol. But, I didn't like that show anyway.
Yeah. No, it's all right, though.
Yeah.
But it's all right, though. We got better things to do. Come on. We've got to write our own music, not go on a national karaoke competition, But how cool would it have
And also, I don't know if it still happens, but here's the thing. I think other than Kelly Clarkson, do we remember any other winners?
Daughtry.
No, winners.
Oh, for some reason, Carrie Underwood.
She. Oh yeah, she won one of
Her and Bo Bice were against each other in that last season.
Oh yeah, the one of the early seasons. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Carrie Underwood, Kelly Clarkson. Any other winners do we know?
Not a winner, but people that made an impact for sure.
Yeah, it seems to know we know more about the contestants that at least made it to the finals, but were eliminated than the actual winners.
Oh yeah,
definitely. In most cases, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, because I'm convinced that the thing is they already have somebody selected, because I realized what they do is they'll go on like, TikTok or Instagram, and if somebody's like singing video becomes viral, like they want you there to audition. Like that's the thing. And oh my God, I was at my audition, I was the only one who actually auditioned via virtually. Everybody else was pulled in from TikTok and Instagram. And I'm like, whoa. And they all thought their don't stink. That's all I'm going to say.
Wait, all their what don't stink?
All their don't stink.
So that's another behind the scenes of American Idol. I'm surprised it's still going.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. I wonder how Ryan Seacrest is able to do that in Wheel of Fortune.
He's barely ever there. He just shows up, says words, and peace.
Yeah. Well, now we're going off topic for a bit. It must have been pretty. I guess Pat Sajak is pretty much well off. Even in this economy, he's probably well off to retire.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Honestly, though, he looked so fake. You could he had so much work done. You can just
Wait, Sajak or Seacrest?
Seacrest. There was a duo. It was Seacrest and somebody else. Was the original duo that co-hosted American Idol. And I believe Seacrest has been on it ever since.
Well, yeah, he's been hosting since day one.
Yeah. They had so there was two co-hosts when American Idol first started.
But you know who else who probably has work done? Simon Cowell.
Typical Simon Cowell. He would have hated me.
Oh yeah, imagine if in 2021 he was still there, and then you would have gone. I don't know if he still would have been his usual self. Little terrible, bloody awful.
Mm-hmm. I can hear it already, and I go, "Kiss me, Simon."
No,
that's my kink. Just kidding.
yeah, getting kisses from British guys. Yeah. So how many bands are you currently in?
1, 2, 3. And I'm going to audition for another one soon, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, at least all three of them you used to do vocals. Do you play any instruments or not at all?
So I play some bass and some piano. I'm not advanced in either of them. I'm a vocalist first.
All right. So at least for the when being a vocalist, I think other than the ones you mentioned, Steven Tyler, Robert Plant, any other frontmen or at least any lead singers that influence you to do the kind of style that you do?
Well, those guys are like the big pieces, but it's really hard to say because each style that I do is inspired by a different artist within that genre. For example, if I was doing blues, right? I mean, naturally, we got Led Zeppelin in there, but also there's another classic blues artist. Her name is Shamika Copeland. She is amazing. So soulful, so powerful. And she's also another inspiration in that genre for me. I mean, metal is a huge part of my life. I gotta say though, out of all of the screaming vocalists, I would say that Randy Blythe from Lamb of God would be the closest that I could compare my voice to. One of the reasons I find inspiration in Randy Blythe is because the one thing that metal gets the most for is for not being able to understand the lyrics. That's the number one thing. But you know what Randy Blythe does? He actually pronounces his words. And that's my goal as a screaming vocalist, is to be able to pronounce the words. So even if you may not immediately understand it, at some point you will. Now you listen to bands like Cannibal Corpse, right? And now they're pretty heavy. They're death metal. And ask me what he's saying, I don't freaking know. All right, until I read the lyrics. I can tell you one thing, though. I can tell you one song for sure. It's called I Blood. Perfect. My other band, up and coming, which Victor, our good friend Victor, plays guitar in. Whoa. And that band is called Widow's Vein, will be displayed, or rather will be presented next year. And lastly, I have an acoustic project with rotating guitar players. And that is called Dead Rose Hollow.
Okay. Here, if you could describe each band in a however long summary you want of what they do, what genres they do, what are they like, and all that stuff.
Widow's Vein is more of a goth metal conceptual band. We are currently recording our album, and the acoustic, it's an eclectic, set list of music, and it varies by room, by guitar player, everything is different every show. You're going to get something different at every show. So we're either going to be, more casual, like Vic and I played in our last gig, or, we can have some more nicer gigs where we get a little more dressed up, and then we have our more like background music as opposed to the show, So everything from coffee house to being the performance. Widow's Vein, I write, all my lyrics, all my melodies, all my parts. Dead Rose Hollow is an acoustic project, so it's all covers, and like I said, it varies. We do everything from like Don't Know Why by Norah Jones to like Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan. We do some like X's and O's by Ellie King. And then lastly, we will sometimes sprinkle some metal in there. So we do Iron Maiden and we do add Metallica, He sings Unforgiven too, which is really good. He sings very well. Yeah, so everything's a little different, and I don't like to adhere myself to one strict genre, because I think that if you limit yourself to only one little area, then that's exactly what you're doing. You're limiting yourself. The more that you open your brain and, being able to like experience new things and, to see things, to be things, and whatnot, the world changes. The color of the world changes, because then you can think more thoroughly and see through a clearer view.
So do you prefer mostly covers or originals, or it doesn't matter?
I love writing so much. It unleashes something inside of me. It's almost like scratching an itch. It's like, oh, it's got to sit just right. It's got to be this. It's got to be that. I'm very particular because I've been writing for a long time. It started in poetry when I was a kid and then turned into lyrics, as I had gotten older, But original music, it just doesn't pay well. And, we all know this going into it. Unless you make it big, you're not really not making any money. Covers are what actually pay the bills. That, they're the most paying. I'm not going to get into any numbers, but let me just say, I'm leaving with way more than a tank of gas.
Just by doing covers.
Just by doing covers.
I mean, yeah, it is hard for a lot of independent artists these days. I mean, even sometimes major artists, to get a song down from their own creativity, whether it's by them or outside writers or producers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's tough to really create something that's like art to you, or at least something that's from your heart and with full passion and everything. You put it out on social media or whatever you do, or you don't put it out at all, but still it's like Like how many people are going to listen to this?
Hmm.
Like whoever does.
That's why finding your audience and knowing who your audience is incredibly important. Who are you writing for? Are you writing for teenagers? Are you writing for adults? What kind of person are you writing for? You know, connecting with your audience is the most important thing as an artist. You know, I personally find that our audience is people who like exciting and threatening vibes. Thrash metal fans who love to punch each other. All right. You know, people that like to see kinky
I've seen it all.
So when I joined the band, I just said, okay. I'm not a decision maker. I do know that my voice, you know, does matter to some degree, but it's not my band at the end of the day. So I just go, okay. Nah, but I can't really speak too much on it. I'm telling you though, it gets wild. Oh, no, it's exciting. We're so woo.
Wait, is that better?
Magical.
Yeah, I have like limited sound
Spicy.
effects here. All right, what type of parents like it? What type of parents don't like it? If I may ask.
Okay, it'd be easier to tell you who wouldn't like it. Okay, because realistically, like the music is for everybody. You know, everybody always finds something that they like. Now, if you're like a what is it called? If you're a turtleneck wearing, short hair, like frigid Karen, right? Our music will not be for you. You will not enjoy it. All right. You won't like me. You won't like what we do. You won't like any of it.
Yep. I could definitely see the complaints, or I could hear the complaints right about now.
For example, he's not even going to say a single thing. He's just going to talk with guitar or something, or, you know. And then I'm going to go down there. I'm going to go.
I mean, with that kind of tone that you just mimicked, it's almost like, get over it. We're playing. To the audience, or at least the pastors going by, Jesse Pinkman style.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying this. Like, yeah, well, we're playing. Get over it. So, at least for any performance that you did, like, you know, this is like in general throughout life and all that. Like, what's the best place you ever performed? Whether it was, you know, solo or any of the bands, or in general. This is like I said, a general question. Is there a place that stands out that you enjoy performing the best?
It's really tough to say. I mean, aside from like performances, like in competition shows, currently the number one thing that stands out to me when playing in a venue, any venue across the state, country, whatever, is how is the sound and how are the lights, right? Those are the two most. Oh, and some space, like to be able to walk around. You know, I would have to say though that within this state, one of the better venues to play at is called Bleachers in Bristol. The stage is great, the sound is great, but you know that bar, it does have a reputation. I won't lie about that. You know, and you can look that up, you know, independently. But the lights and, you know, sound, those are the biggest things to me. So I find that Bleachers Bar up in Bristol has a pretty good stage, sound, and lights. So, and I know the sound guy too.
How have you played there a bunch of times?
I have, yeah. I was in a cover band some years ago called Evil Twin. And that band has played there many times. It's one thing to have a great stage, but you know how you perform your business makes a difference on whether people want to come back or not. Another great venue in Connecticut is the classic Toad's Place. Their sound is amazing. Their stage is beautiful. The people that run it are respectable. Hollis over there is a really nice lady. They work really hard. And every January is an annual Opus Blizzard Bash.
Mm. So wait, have you yourself personally performed at Toad's Place or not yet?
Not the main stage.
The main stage. What?
The
Well,
lily pad upstairs. I've
Oh.
made announcements on the main stage because
oh,
I was an
oh,
MC or something, but
oh yeah. Wait, I kind of remember that lily pad. I think I've been up there once.
yeah, the sound is
Uh,
terrible because it's glass.
Doesn't look like a big room to perform in. It was just it was almost like a
Mm-mm.
nightclub with a bunch of drunks and all that. I mean, I swear it looked like I know those guys. People were probably in their 20s and 30s, but I swear I thought they were like much younger than that. I'm like, are we supposed to be here?
Well, they do have those dance nights for the college students, which honestly,
Okay, that explains it.
look, the amount of times that my brain has gone to, oh, somebody's being drugged at that show is like a whole it's just so crazy because it's just so easy. It's so easy. I went to one of their New Year's dance clubs to see how it was. Packed, overpacked. Honestly, I think that they oversold out. They
Mm.
oversold tickets because I got there with my sister and we were ready for their blacklight party, the only neon thing I ever own. And we got there and I'm like, I want to hurt a lot of these people. Let's go. Because the guys were rude, the girls were entitled, everybody was under 21. I'm like, I don't belong here. I'm almost 30 at the time. That I don't belong here. I gotta go. And I started like getting out of there. I had to get out of there.
All right. So once again, this has been the FreeRay Media podcast here. Guess, would you please just say your name again?
Oh, Luxx Karma. Rach Karma. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Well, Rachel, thank you very, very much for being on the FreeRay Media podcast. And to all watching, listening, or both, good night and have a pleasant tomorrow.